Welcome back, everyone. We are on episode 110 of our Oxygen Not Included All Achievement Run. In this episode, we are going to finish up the area we have designated for the Hydrogen Vent Tamer. It is going to turn on in about 5 cycles here, so we have a little bit of time so we can finish up all of this, get the materials out of here, and probably go and dig up the rest of this section on this side of the asteroid, and then kind of go from there. Keep this kind of in mind and just watch and make sure that it's working properly, and see if maybe we can make changes if we need to, or if we have to, those kinds of things. So let's just let this stuff start going on the lowest speed. We are going to have a duplicate go into space pretty much pretty quickly here. We need a little bit more power first for the battery module. Right now there's not really much from what you see. The day just started, so when we look at the lumens we are getting here, it's slowly going up, and as that goes up, the battery will also go up. So we'll just need to wait for a little while, and then once we have enough power in here, we can set our rocket and start getting more of the data banks that we require. So that's a part of what we need to complete. We need to definitely mop that up. Not exactly sure where all that ice is melting from, but I can imagine it's probably all this right here. So we may need to start picking up that pretty soon. What else do we have to do? Oh yeah, we were looking at this area over here. We added this section of cooling to the water sieve because the water sieve was getting a lot of overheat damage. So hopefully this is going to be an easy fix with the little extra amount of cooling we provided here. So that's right there. We have a little bit of a carbon dioxide issue again. It's moving all the way up, and then we are starting to see it on the lowest portion of the base. So I think it may be a good idea to go back through this area and cut off the supply of carbon dioxide going from one side to the next. So we're going to add this right here. That way the carbon dioxide that's super hot stops going in this direction, because it's going to heat up the base if we let it. So we're going to do that. And then what else? Oh yes, I wanted to deconstruct all of the tiles in the background, and then we are going to cut off the rest of this with insulated tiles, right? That will help that along. And then we will keep monitoring how the carbon dioxide is. If it continues to be an issue, then we will completely make sure that these sides are not touching, or you can't get from one side to the next. So that's just kind of something that I would like to keep an eye on, of course. Let's see. Let's look at our colony summary. I want to see where we are at. Okay, unlock every item in the research tree. We have one more thing to do in the research tree, and then we can change the rocket that we have doing research. We can probably add a telescope instead, move that around, stop doing the database entries unless we need it for something else in the future, which I haven't really seen. We need to find a gassy moo, just so we can get these 2 different achievements. Right, we tame a gassy moo and we get 2 different achievements, the critter whisperer and moving on up. And then we need to find some of the different materials out in space in order to get super coolant. So that is also on the list of things to do. So those are the last achievements in the original game. So once that is complete, we can just move on and keep going into the spaced out achievements. I'm not going to go through all of them because we're not focusing on them right now. We're focusing on getting our rockets ready, One rocket is going to go out into space and do some exploration, and then the other one is going to do databank research providing. We've changed our input and outputs here a little bit. We do need to go kind of in this direction and start getting rid of the extras. And I say extras because we need to put plastic here to stop the radiation from leaking through. So we'll probably do a couple of rows. We're creating these gas port loaders and the liquid rocket port loaders, and then we will also have another one after the other liquid. One's petroleum, and then one's going to be for water, and then the last one that we have on the end is going to be for any input of like oxalite and any sort of other materials that we want to bring in. So we'll probably have 2 ports, 1 input, 1 output. That way we can automate all of the different liquids and solids coming in and out of the rockets. But yeah, right now we just have these set up like that, and we'll probably end up changing it in the future. So, all right, let's look around. What else are we trying to accomplish? That's gonna stay warm for a little bit. We're almost done with that research. Almost done. We're only about 40% done is what it kind of looks like. So, all right, let's change some of this up here. What's the temperature in here? The temperature of this area is about 78 degrees. We need it to stay lower than 80. Okay, so if that's the case, we need to definitely change this to a more temperate option. Okay, so we're just providing some maintenance for this right now. It'll probably change in a little bit, but I think that this will be the best way to handle the heat getting transferred from one section to the next. So always build an extra wall, right? And then we want to get rid of these. I want a fire pole all the way down because that just sounds like fun. All right, let's check out our other asteroid, make sure everything is looking well. And it is. We have a bunch of stone hatchlings and regular hatches. We have some eggs that could probably be moved. We just move them over here for now. And that'll give them the, they won't be cramped anymore. Okay, let's see. This is where we are going to create, I think it was 14? 14, yes. Okay. So let's get all of that out of the way. And then, so this was 14, 13, 14. Okay, so this is 15, okay. So what we are going to create here is the middle tier SPOM. So we are going to have 2 electrolyzers and 3 gas vent. What is it? What am I thinking of here? Not gas vent. We want the pump. So the first pump, we're gonna make this one out of gold. The second one's gonna be right here. And then we will need to change the ladder so that way they can get up and down when we add a insulated tile here. It's going to be probably to about this size, I think, a couple higher, but we will continue to add more to that once they complete the rest of this stuff. Let's take a look at our oil pumps. Those look good. They are continually getting them. We have too much oil, which is not a bad thing, to be honest. I think that we should, leave this as is for now, and then at some point we will need to get this liquid sulfur geyser so we can tame it, get the sulfur going for the other asteroid, then we can make a couple of other things, right? It comes out at 165.2 degrees, and in order to turn it into a solid, it needs to drop to about 115.2. So we're going to need some steel to have some sort of cooling for the liquid sulfur. Probably have it drop on either side into like a pit, and then we will cool the pit, suck out the sulfur that is too hot, or that is not hot anymore, and then rinse and repeat. So we will see how we tackle that in a little while, but I definitely want to get that going, because if we look at sulfur, let's go back to our database and we go to sulfur. We have a lot of uses for sulfur, right? We have sour gas is what can provide liquid methane and sulfur, and liquid methane is just, you heat it up again and then it turns into natural gas, right? So that's one way to do it. Or you can cool it and turn it into solid methane. Again, it's just depending on what we want to go for. My thought is to use the liquid sulfur just to turn it into regular sulfur. So, because we can use it for a lot of different materials and things to grow plants, like the grub fruit or the grubs and the sweetles, they all like sulfur. So having a continuous supply would be really good. That might be what we do later on in this episode, start excavating an area down here for that purpose. So actually, why don't we just start building that? Yeah, we'll do a couple of things at the same time, right? We'll add a gas pump over here, and then down here we'll start working on an area just for that. Let's see. Yeah, because I don't know if there's a better way to do it, but we'll need some steel, and I think if we create a nice loop for with a steam vent and some of the liquid vent and what am I thinking of, the aqua tuner, if we create a setup here for that, we can make that work to our advantage in two different ways. We can cool the liquid sulfur, and at the same time we can also provide power to this base, and further we can cool down anything else that's getting too hot, right, and keep this area cold. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll put that setup over here since it's pretty close to the liquid sulfur geyser, and then yeah, we'll add that and a refinery. Those kinds of things would be very helpful. So all right, let's go back over here. Did we get this filled with algae? We did. Okay, we've got extra gas or oxygen in here. That looks good. Here's what we're gonna do. Crew, get ready. We're making things happen. Alright, this needs to be a higher priority though. We don't want this continually dropping inside of the area there. How is this? Did it start yet? It did not. We have about 4 cycles. How cold is the liquid in the pipes? So it's about 1 degree, and then negative. Okay, that's great. Last step that we did not do. Honestly, let's just move this over. We don't want any extra materials in there that we don't need. Once those have been removed, we'll put the rest of the insulated tile on there and call it a day. There we go. Whew, lots of work. Overheat damage. Yeah, I could see that. We'll use ceramic. Maybe ceramic will be good. That was partly why I wanted to put ceramic in here, so we can try and use it for things that we haven't used it for before. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. They got this completed. Can they reach all this? It looks like they can. Oh, we dug all of that up. Okay, let's continue to dig this up. And nobody gets stuck. That is going to be the highest priority, because I don't want anyone getting stuck. We'll leave that there. Okay. And then I think, so we have a bunch of things that we need to tame. We have this volcano tamer we need for continuous igneous rock, right? We just got done with the hydrogen tamer. Okay, they moved that stuff. Let's not get too far on a tangent. So we just tamed the hydrogen vent. We have the volcano here that we want to use this space for, which we have a lot of it. I'm really happy about that. Let's just get rid of the... No, that was here. Thank you. So after that's tamed, since we've got some other stuff done, at the same time we can try to work on the liquid vent tamer. I think that would be really helpful. We need a liquid lock, and then we will send out any of the natural gas and everything else. So let's go down. We're just going to create a pit and get that ready. Another thing we need to do on this is we need to complete the SPOM. So let's focus on a couple things, just not too much at one time, right? So we have one space right between those. Then we are going to use a mesh tile, 1, 2, one space between this one, 1, 2, and then above that we have our electrolyzer. We're going to make it out of gold. We need to remove these, change that to a higher priority, and then in the middle we throw some regular tiles. I'm going to use igneous rock. The temperature that comes out of this is going to be similar to the other one. It'll get up to probably 50 to 60, even 70 degrees, even if you encapsulate it in insulation. So at some point it would be a good idea to try and cool down the oxygen to keep it temperate within the base if you haven't done that already. So that's just something that we'll need to keep an eye out on and watch as we're continuing this. We have another gas pump in the middle, also made out of gold, right? And then the last part that we need is some automation sensors. We don't have any gold. We do have some steel. I'd rather not use the steel. So let's find where did it go? Did we rock crusher? Okay. Do we have gold? We have a little bit. We'll do 5 of those. Once this setup is done for the SPOM, the next thing that I will probably end up doing is getting the metal refinery setup done with the cooler. So we're going to dig that out in this direction for that specific region. We're going to get rid of this. Sorry, I know. It's almost taboo to get rid of the cool things. Okay, we're in here. We have food. We're going to change the location. Let's go out here. And then idleness. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to do, so I'm not sure why we are idle. Okay, that's good. Pre-check. Everything looks good. All crew aboard. Everything's good. We may lose some of these wires, but that's fine. Launch. Ah, that's so exciting. I love that. Whoosh. And away it goes. See, if you look at the temperature, okay, it's still got pretty warm. underneath. We may need an extra layer or two. That is one thing that I wanted to check. All right. So what I'm going to do here is create a vacuum in between these. And then it's just going to heat up the top tiles. Because that's going to be even worse with the larger rocket, right? Yeah. And now if we look at the radiation, it's seeping through a little bit, but stopped by a lot of the stuff we have. Okay. It's still really good to see. Alright. Has this started going off yet? No, it has not. We have 3 cycles left. And that's kind of expected, to be honest. Because we're on the slowest speed, we're not forcing anything. We're just gonna do 2 rows at a time from now on, with a little bit of this here and there. No, just right here. We'll wait. Just do 2 rows, then nobody gets stuck, right? Okay, did we heal up? It looks like we healed up. And then changing this to ceramic was better. It's handling the heat a little bit better than the other stuff. We made that one out of gold and it was fine, but... Alright. Let's just check on our... Now what is that? Why do we have a bar here? Here, we will... comfy bed, uncontrolled. Unequipped suit. There we go. Oh, that's why. It's because of the dreaming. Got it. I forgot we have cool PJs on at the moment. And that goes directly into the Somnium synthesizer, which provides a sustainable boost to duplicate skills and abilities throughout the colony, which is, you know, not a bad thing. We could provide pajamas for another duplicate if we wanted to. Now that things are kind of nice, let's do Nisbet. Yeah, we'll have a couple of dreams being made. Alright, that looks good. How are we doing over here? They did complete some of it. We do need to have some more work done. Let's get rid of these extra ladders that we don't need anymore. Okie dokie. It looks great. We are working on this still. Yeah, we aren't going to be able to open that up until it's until we're ready, right? And how much do we have obsidian? We have obsidian over here, some right here. Okay, we've got 24,000 obsidian. It's not a bad amount. And while we are at it, we might start going into this area and get rid of the zombie spores. Ooh. We may use a nice little way to get rid of this from the corner. See if we can do that. I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out what works best. Last thing we want is zombie spores, though, right? So if we go down and over, destroy this from the corner, from here, that'll get rid of the spore kid. And then we throw a wheezewort right here. Should have radiation that should kill a bunch of the germs pretty quickly. So that's how I think we are going to address that. You know what, let's just dig this way. And then we'll have a ladder. We'll go 1, 2, 3, dig up those. And then we will dig up in the corner. And then we will go 1, 2, 3. And right here is where we will put a farm tile, and that'll be the Weezewort. No, don't get that. We'll dig it out first, and then we'll put it down. All right. Let's move a little faster. We have some stuff to do. How are we doing here? We're doing great. Max gas pressure. Awesome. How many of these databanks do we have? We only have 13. And how many do we need? Okay, about 400. So that we'll be staying up there for a little bit. All right, let's keep going. All right. So I think one of the things to do is let's get another researcher in here from the other asteroid. We will need to deconstruct you so we have a better mess hall. I don't think we have an artist either, so we can't just send everything right away. But let's go to plumbing. How does that look? Okay, it doesn't look terrible. We are going to go insulated pipe. There we go. Insulated pipe, igneous rock, up, over, up, over and down. That'll give us at least the plumbing done. And then we want ventilation, insulated pipe, maybe? Yeah. Okay. And then, okay, we don't have any more of the plug slugs right now. So what we are going to do is go do this in two ways. We're going to cut the pipes here. We're going to use a ventilation, gas bridge, go this way, then go this way. And then insulated pipe, go this way. And then we will be providing this in reverse, and that should be it. Okay, that looks great. Higher priority on this though. We can go all the way over for this one, and then we will go all the way over here for the other one. Is there anything else I need to worry about for this? Is it cold? No, that one's super hot. Okay. But that is why we need a researcher. We hit excavate. I think we need a specific researcher for that. But that's fine. We'll cross the bridge when we get to it. All right. Rockets in orbit. We're dreaming of a book. Oh, ladder can, or this can go all the way down. Yeah, there we go. Okay, our carbon dioxide is kind of doing better. Okay, we are still we're taking damage on this one now. Let's change the same material to ceramic, and then order rebuild. Thank you. Since we do need more steel, I think it's in order for us to, let's do 20. Okay. And then let's also look over here. Okay, we are not sending. Ah, okay. I thought it was sending stuff, but it's not. Okay, so then what we got to do is cut that here, and then it's just going to send the extra hydrogen out. What I wanted is to change this to, let's do 100. Whoa. 100 grams. 100. Enter. Okay, and then they will change that momentarily. Why is it blocked? What am I missing here? Oh. That's what I'm missing. Go up. There we go. Okay. So now that's going to provide a smaller amount. Right, and it's just going to go straight out the gas ventilation up here. Right here. Max stress. Who is stressed? Why are we stressed? Oh, pop eardrums. Okay, but eardrums. That's fine. That's not that big of a deal. Okay, we've got refined carbon going in. Let's see. How are we doing over here? Okay, doing great. Working on the fossils at the moment. It's nice to see that we are working on the fossils and the liquid sulfur geyser, right? Yeah, much better. Okay, what else do we have to do? Well, both of them are down here, so that's good. Idleness. How are we bored? We should not be bored. There we go. We need all the material, so not gonna keep them bored for long. Let's mop up some of this stuff. Okay, how's the temperature in here? The temperature stayed pretty nice and cold after we threw in the ice-made temp shift plate that melted. All of the different 30-ish degrees dropped and melded with the cold, so now we've got a nice temperate area inside of that. Okay, this has been entombed forever. So, yeah. Not good. Oh, that reminds me, when we go all the way up here, we have some tiles that need to be addressed. We're gonna do a whole nother row of obsidian, I think. But we need to get here. Yeah. We'll need that obsidian if we're going to stand a chance at filling this entire thing. We have some printables. Sand. Let's use that on the other asteroid. I think that's probably a better idea. Okay. They're building all the SPOM now. What did we want to do? We wanted some... Ah, yes. Automation made out of gold. So we have one here. And then one in between these two. Come on. There we go. 1 and 2. We have some automation wire that needs to go to each of these, right? And the last thing that I'm going to put in is the doors that go here and here. I don't think it's necessary to have those doors in there right away because it takes them longer to go in, open the door, go into the middle, open the next door, and then go through, right? So what we're gonna do is wait for the doors that go here and here until we are absolutely enclosed and ready to start pumping out the oxygen into the base. Like we're just gonna vacuum this area before we start the electrolyzers. So the last thing after that is going to be the power. We have the power grid ready. It's going to be right here. So we can make this go up and over and into all this. Right? So we will connect that up in a little while. Then we go down, over, and then right to that one, which is perfect. Okay. And then while we're at it, we're just gonna throw these over in this direction, right? All right, and then that gives enough space for everything. They can build it all, give us some room for things, and then the last thing totally is going to be the doors. So let's change the priority of all this. We want this done first before any of the other projects. That's including everything that we have going on down here. Okay, Spore Kid seed is taken care of. There's no zombie spores anymore that are being continuously made. Let's put our farm tile here with the Wheezewort, and that should kill off all these germs. Not very fast, but it'll happen. Okay, let's dig up these, excavate that. You know, let's just dig out this entire area. Now the real question is, do they need to be at the same level as these? Kind of like this, is what I mean. If they do, that's okay, right? Idleness, more idleness. Don't be idle. Okay, we need more eggs. We don't want to do those. We want some stone hatchling eggs. We don't have any in here. At the moment, at least. Here's what we're gonna do. There we go. Yeah, move all of the stuff where it needs to go. Yeah, I grab all of it. There we go. Okay. We're just gonna grab everything around that gives them something to do, and it stops them from being idle. There we go. Much better. I could just go like that, right? Yeah, that'll be much better. Okay. I think we have enough stuff for them to do for a little bit at least. Let's check on our rocket. How are we doing? Okay, we're at 80 data banks. We need a bunch more still. Okay. Looks like we're working on the areas over here still. Now let's do rotten surf and turf. Oh no. That's really weird that we are still getting food because they don't have a lot, 3 and 3, so they should be eating. You know what we should do to fix this? Okay, what we do to fix this is we have certain duplicates capable of eating one and certain duplicates capable of eating the other. So we will do no barbecue for you. We'll do 6 duplicates that can't eat barbecue. And I think that that should help because that'll force each of this stuff to go into rotation. Right? So let's go back over here. And then let's do the same thing for surf and turf. Okay, why does it do that when you try to go down? That's kind of irritating. So we'll do 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then the rest can eat everything. So I think that will fix our issue. We'll just keep an eye on it, since that's what we have in here most, right? Barbecue, cooked seafood, pepper bread, and surf and turf. Yeah. Okay. We do need to fix this. What is this coming from? Okay. So what we need to do here, just go over and then have a bridge, flip that around. And then this goes up and over and down directly here. So that should be what happens with the eggs. We'll send the eggs here instead. Egg. I'm just gonna hit, no. We want the pinch row eggs. Oh, we have a baby poke shell in here. Didn't even know. And then to fix the issue that we have here, no critter eggs. There we go. Oh, they're angry. So let's turn the... Let's grab the pinch row eggs again. Oh, they're putting it in the area, or in the incubator. So this should fix our issue. We'll get rid of this one, and then we'll be able to see everything. Okay, that should fix our issue. Now the polluted dirt won't be just sitting there for a long time. Okay, let's check on our temperature. This temperature is still about 41 degrees, so our loop is working as intended. The areas are staying nice and cool. The base is still pretty temperate. It got a little colder here, so if we really don't want that, we can change a couple of these back to insulated tiles or insulated pipe instead, just to kind of not have as much transfer of cold to heat. So that's something that we could look into if we really needed it. Up here, these got a little bit warmer because of the water that we have being put into them, but as of right now, I don't think it's a giant issue because of the cooling that we are providing. The next step for this is going to be, let's cool down this water sieve as well. And what I'm thinking about is adding all of the different water sieves in one area and cooling them all down, and then bringing the pipes back up from the cool down area instead of keeping it in the hot area, because this, even with gold, it was overheating with that hotter temperature. So that's just my thoughts on it. I don't know if we're going to do that now. We're just going to kind of keep focusing on what we've been focusing on, which is the research. We've got 108 databanks right now, and let's look at our oxygen. That looks pretty good for now. And then if we look at our other asteroid, okay, they did provide that. Let's put the Wheezewort here, highest priority, and that should fix our issue. And the issue that I'm talking about are these germs. They are going down on their own, but it would go down much faster if they are soaking in radiation. All right. Now, not providing radiation yet. And then these need to be created at a higher priority, so let's do that. And this is just hydrogen in here, and this is a warmer area, so we can open it up. Come on. There we go. This is almost to a point where we may need to just have a separate crude oil into petroleum boiler for this asteroid. So we may end up doing that. We lose half of the mass of the crude oil this way, but it might be beneficial if we get too much of it and we can't really do anything with it. So let's do that. Okay, we've got our petrified fossil here. Excavate this one over here. Okay, let's look at the radiation. So this whole area is filling up with radiation. Let's look at the germs. If we look by the thousands per second, the germs are definitely going down, right? And it's not because they are moving from one section to the next. I think it's the radiation is killing them, and that's what we want, right? Wow, that was excavated very fast. Excavate one, please. Okay. Excavate that. And this one. This is going to be fantastic. 740,000. Yeah, all of it is going down. There's no zombie spores inside this fossil fragment area anymore. All right, that looks good. Breathability. So when we do this, where does it go? Does this just go straight out? Because that would be amazing. Okay. Well, I don't want to keep losing a ton of oxygen in the mix. But we'll be fine. Almost 134. Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna turn that off. Okay, how are we on this? Okay. It has already started. We can see the hydrogen. Let's just pause and take a look. Okay. So the polluted water is -6, -6, -6, -6.1. Okay, that's constantly in there. The hydrogen is at negative right now. And that's on the first probably couple of eruptions. But it's going to increase, obviously, right? If we look at the temperature, it is nice and cold in here. So we're going to keep that hydrogen at a lower temperature. That way we don't have to worry about it at all whatsoever. And then on top of that, if we need this loop for anything else, then we can use it over here, right? That's the whole point of why I wanted to build it in this way and not the other one with the diamond tiles. Because I do like this setup, and we've learned how to effectively use the aqua tuner and the liquid pipe thermosensor with the steam turbines. So we wanted to use that to our advantage. This area is already nice and cold, so the temperature variance is not going to make the liquid, the thermal aqua tuner work more. It's only going to work more when this is erupting, right? So that's kind of why I like this loop and why we did it this way. And we didn't even add any, we did not add any of the temp shift plates, which we could have. But using the steel for the radiant liquid pipes, I think that really helped with the heat transfer. Obviously, it's not as good as cobalt, but it still works just as effectively in this type of situation for us. So, okay. Let's go. Fossil excavated. Okay, success! My duplicants have safely excavated a set of strange fossilized remains. It appears that there are more of this giant critter's bones strewn around the asteroid. It's vital that we reassemble the skeleton for deeper analysis. Let's view the site. Okay, so we got that one done. They're working on the next one. So they're getting rid of the fossil around it. We're also going to excavate that one. How are the germs? Okay, they're still going down. They were at 800,000 when we started this in this area, so that's nice. Right, we'll finish that off, and then the next thing will be, let's go all the way over here and grab all of this. Fossil data decoded. It appears this creature's DNA was once used as a kind of genetic storage unit. Okay, let's view the data. What does the data say? This asteroid has a few skeletons in its geological closet. Track down the fossilized fragments of an ancient creature to assemble key pieces of Gravitas's history and unlock a new resource. Okay, I've discovered a fossilized critter buried in my colony, at least part of one, but it does not resemble any of the species we have encountered on this asteroid. Where did it come from? How did it get here? And what other questions might these bones hold an answer to? There's only one way to find out. Alright, now that that's done, we have one more to get rid of the fossils with, right? How did we do on this? Okay, they're not done yet, but they're working on it. I'm going to cut the power here because I don't want the electrolyzers running. Not until we are ready, right? Oh, they can't reach that anyways. Yeah, build that there. But again, we need this so we don't have to keep using the oxygen from the other base. That way we can send hydrogen here. We will need to change this piping because the hydrogen needs to be sent directly into this, and we don't want all these gas pipes kind of in the way of it, whether what we're cooling and what we're sending through the anti-entropy thermal nullifier. So we will need to clean this area up of the messy surroundings at some point in the near future. Okay, building that. How is the germs? All right, we're down below 250,000 and going down, and it's gonna hit really fast. So how are we doing on our research? We have 153 out of 400. So that's a really nice amount. We'll keep our duplicant up here for a little bit longer. We have plenty of oxygen being made. Down here, what we'll do is when it's nighttime, we'll turn on the mini gas pump to help alleviate the carbon dioxide. Yeah, that's just how I think we should handle that for now. I'm getting excited. If you can't tell, we're moving in this fantastic direction towards having all the fossils done. And on this side, we will create the liquid sulfur area on this section over here. It'll drop. We'll create a, let's see, can we build on that section right here? No, we cannot. It would have to be on this one. Okay. So we may need to move the ladder over 1 or 2, which I'm totally okay with. So. Awesome. Okay, these are AND gates. And. So you'd have to like flip that on. And that one on. And that gives that one ready. This one. And this one. And then boom, they're ready for the neural vacillator. Vacillator? Ugh. Oh man. Some of the words in here, they are good tongue twisters. Okay, let's dig this out. Let's get some Oh, we won't need to do that. There we go. Don't do that one. Let's excavate these, and those, and these. Okay. How's the zombie spores? And look at that. Just like magic, the zombie spores have pretty much just disappeared with little to no trouble at all. We use the corner trick to get rid of the plant, and then we use our Wheezewort with the radiation to neutralize all of the zombie spores. And as of right now, they are completely gone. It's the only thing we need to look out for is make sure that there are no pips capable of reaching these Spore Kid seeds, because they will plant them if you do not put them in a location they cannot reach. So what we are going to do is throw them in here. Let's move you here. I don't think we're going to need them, but you know what? I'd rather just be safe than sorry and put them behind a locked door. It doesn't even need to be a locked door, just a door so that way the pips don't get access to them. Okay, and then excavate. Look at that. All right, let's turn all this to a 9. And then we are going to change this to just regular tile. And then this needs to be... Oh, they're already being made. Good job, Dom. Is that being excavated as well? It is. Okay. Working on the excavation here. You know, we don't really need that one right there. How much fossil do we get from these? Properties. Oh, it's 200 or 2,000 kilograms. Okay. Okay. Fossil data decoded. View data. Okay. Organism design notes. Restricting our organism design to specifically target survival in an off-planet polar climate has narrowed our focus significantly, allowing development of this project to rapidly outpace the others. We have successfully optimized the adaptive features such as the formation of protective adipose tissue at greater than 40% of the organism's total mass. Dr. Bubar was concerned about the consequences for muscle mass, but results confirm that reduction fall within an acceptable range. Our next step is to adapt the organism's diet. It would be inadvisable to populate a new colony with carnivorous creatures of this size. That just sounds like Jurassic Park, if you asked me. Right? So the last one we have, you know what, we will leave that alone and just excavate. I hope everyone doesn't mind me reading the data entries. My thought on that is, number one, it helps me practice my speaking of the crazy terms that we sometimes have to encounter, because that's just kind of a natural. An acorn tree. Ooh, yeah, we'll grab that. That'll be helpful for the pips. Okay, did we move those? They haven't moved them yet. Let's change that priority right now. Perfect. Can they reach that? Yes, they can. Okay. Let's just take a quick peek. Oxygen. Yeah, we're just going to turn that on. We'll leave it alone. We have a lot of algae. How many do we got? We almost have 200. We're getting there. Okay, we have idleness. Why do we have idleness? We have idleness because we do. Let's grab all of this extra. Oh yeah. This will give them something to do. Nobody gets stuck. Okay. Okay, fossil data decoded. Alright, let's view the data. Where are we? We are right here. When I am alone in the lab, I find myself gravitating towards the enclosure to listen to the creature's melodic vocalizations. Sometimes the pitch changes slightly as I approach. I'm not certain what that means. Some of the other departments have taken to calling our work here Project Meat Popsicle. It is a crass misnomer. Interesting. This species is not designed to be a food source. It must survive the Ceres climate long enough to establish a stable population that will enable the subsequent settlement party to access the essential research data stored in its DNA via Dr. Winslow's revolutionary genome encoding technique. Imagine countless yottabytes worth of scientific documentation wandering freely around a new colony. The ultimate self-sustaining archive providing stable data storage that requires zero technological maintenance. It gives new meaning to the term living document. Okay, let's see. Today is the day. My sonorous critter and her handful of progeny are ready to be transported to their new home. They are scheduled to arrive 3 months in the past to ensure that they are well established before the settlement's party arrival next week. Dr. Techna invited me to assist with the teleportation. I was relieved to be too busy to accept. I have heard rumors about previous shipments going awry, and these stories are unsubstantiated, and yet the urgency of our mission sometimes necessitates non-ideal compromises. The lab is so very quiet now. The end. We aren't going to read the rest of that right now. Because it's a launch party and an unauthorized activity. There's just a lot more to read, but let me know what you thought about me reading it, because I just thought that'd be kind of neat. Story trait has been completed. We have an ancient specimen, and my duplicates have meticulously reassembled as much of the giant critter's scattered remains as they could find. Their efforts have unearthed a seemingly bottomless fossil quarry beneath the largest fragment dig site. Nestled among the topmost bone was a handcrafted critter collar. It's too large to have belonged to any species traditionally categorized as companion animals. Let's activate the fossil quarry. Look at that. Now we have an unlimited amount of fossil. And we have a critter collar. Awesome. So now what I want to do is actually put that in here. Make it look nicer. It's not so, hey, we're on fossil looking. Okay. Fantastic. Why do we have idleness? We have stuff to dig. We have things to put away. Now we have things to put away. All right. We are going to slow it down at this point in time. We've done quite a bit in this episode. We completed one of the story traits that ended up providing us with unlimited amount of fossil. Please let me know if you have any questions on how we achieved that, or if you are struggling to get to that point. I'm more than happy to help. If you have any comments or questions or suggestions, as always, I am well receptive to what is provided in the comments below. I truly appreciate all the feedback, and I will respond in kind as well. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope our journey has been really helpful, and if you are following along in your own playthrough, you know, I really hope that we've been able to establish some of those achievements with little to no issues. Some things coming up. I will be out of town from the 18th through the 20th. maybe no, not the 20th, the 22nd. So all these episodes will have been recorded beforehand. Please let me know if there's anything that I could do to make our experience better and those kinds of things. But with that, have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a great weekend. We will see you in the next one.